Hey everyone, this is PrinceWatercress, and welcome to a brand new Let's Play. This time around, it is Super Mario Bros. 3 for the original Nintendo Entertainment System. Released in 1988 in Japan! In Japan! It did not come out in the West until 1990. It did not come out in America until 1990. I believe it did not come out in Europe until 1991. So, for you people who said that the game came out in 1988, and you live in America, and you've always been in America, stop! Anyway, what is there to be said about Super Mario Bros. 3 that hasn't been said already? Everybody knows about the first Super Mario Bros. Game. You run to the right, you jump on Goombas, you jump on Koopas and kick their little shells into other enemies, you fight Bowser, you run to the right every stage and try to get the flag, and head on to the next stage. And of course there's the Warp Zone and all the other stuff. Then there was the Lost Levels, as well as Super Mario Bros. 2, the one that was based on Doki Doki Panic. What else can't be said about those either? And a lot of people say that Super Mario Bros. 2, well, it's not really Super Mario Bros. It's still a fun game nevertheless. And when it came time to do the third game, the game decided to go back to the roots of the first one, which were missed in the second one in the West, because Lost Levels did not show up here until 1993, 1994. However, they do add a lot of twists and a lot of new things you can do to make this a lot more interesting. We're going to start a one-player game, because obviously this is going to be a one-player game. It's not like I have anybody else with me playing this. And as soon as you start a game, you're on a world map. You can move around on the little path on the map. Pressing B lets you go to your inventory, which we don't have anything in yet. Using a control pad will let you move along the path. And pressing A on a space just like that one, with the number on it, will take you to the stage that you are currently on. So let's go ahead and do World 1-1. I'm not going to gush about all the enemies that are there like I did with Super Mario World. I'm assuming that the viewer knows what every enemy is. Also, some of them do have new tricks, such as that piranha plant from earlier that shoots fireballs and will either look up or down at us. And you also have paratroopers and paragoombas. Some of these little guys have wings now. Well, the Koopas always did, but the Goombas, that's a new one. And I'm using a new power-up. This is Raccoon Mario. I used a mushroom to become Super Mario, obviously. You saw that at the very beginning of the stage. But a little later on, I got a leaf to come out of a question mark box when I hit the bottom of it with my head. And that made me Raccoon Mario. Because of that, I was able to get a 1-up, run on cloud platforms, and go down a pipe that took us to a 3 made out of coins. And I might as well just go ahead and show this off too. After getting rid of this Koopa, I might as well get a few free coins here. And at the stage, or rather the stage's end, I should say, you jump up to the card and you get whatever is on there. Don't expect me to get a star every time, because I don't see myself doing that. I was never that good at doing it, and I'm still not. And we might as well just go ahead and go to stage 2. I was going to explain the Raccoon Mario mechanics, but I might as well wait until I'm a little later on the stage to do it. In the meantime, in between time, I do want to do this. Oh, and if you're on a slope like that, you can just hold down and You can go down, you can just slide down and take out any enemies in your path. And I guess I might as well just go ahead and try to explain the mechanics of the thing now. At the very bottom of the screen is the heads-up display. And I'll go ahead and pause the game and explain a little bit so I don't run out of a whole bunch of time. It's all pretty obvious, except for probably that one part with the P for some of you. You have the current world you're on, but not the stage. You have the amount of lives you have left. You have your score. You have the amount of coins you currently have in your possession. 100 gives you a 1-up. You have the amount of time left through the stage. You have your 3 cards that you get at the goals of every stage. And the 6 triangles with the P. That thing builds up when you run. And as we do, we eventually get to the P. And when we do that, we can run very, very fast. It doesn't last for long, but if you are Raccoon Mario, and you jump up into the air, and you press A while you are in midair, you can keep flying. You will only be able to fly for a limited time. After that, you can just keep pressing the A button to continuously glide. You just continuously float. And that can still get you somewhere. Just pay attention to where Mario lands, you should be okay. And inside is another Super Leaf, which I will get for the points. And I will go ahead and grab the star because I do like showing off the fact that you can do some wicked somersaults while you are invincible. Also, I got the flower, so I'm going to get a 1-up no matter what on the next gold card. If you get 3 mushrooms from the gold cards, you'll get a 2-up. If you get 3 flowers, you'll get a 3-up. If you get 3 stars, you'll get the 5-up. I'm not expecting myself to get a whole bunch of lives very early on in the game. And now it's time for stage 1-3. I'm going to grab the Koopa shell by just running into it, and by continuing to hold down B, I will be able to carry it and run at the same time. That's a new mechanic for Super Mario Bros. 3, which you couldn't do in 1 or the Lost Levels. When you're holding it and you let go of B, you'll let go of the shell, and you can just follow it and try to damage as many enemies as you can without accidentally damaging yourself. Now, by breaking all those blocks, I managed to find a hidden note block. By jumping on the note block, I was able to get to Coin Heaven. And if I can get to that box in time, I couldn't, sadly. If I was able to hit the box from the bottom, I would have gotten a 1-up. Oh well. And I'm going to send you into you. Those miniature Goombas that come down from that flying Goomba, they just latch onto you and just... they will just hang on for a little while and just slow you down. Also, you can send an enemy, like a Koopa, into another enemy, and you can easily just knock them into each other and do a whole bunch of damage to them. Now, I crouched on that white block and held down for 5 seconds. That led me behind the bushes. By continuously running to the right from there on in, we now enter this special little house here. There's only one chest. We open it with B when we're up in front of it, and we get the first of 3 warp whistles. One toot on this whistle will send you to a faraway land, and that faraway land is Warp Zone. I will show that off in a future video that will come out very soon after this one. Basically, it takes you to Warp Zone, and it lets you skip ahead a couple worlds if you want to. Now it's time to go to the completely optional Toad House. You kind of know how the mechanics of this thing work, just from us being in the secret house. Go up to any one of the 3 areas, or the 3 chests, I should say, and press B in front of one of them. You'll get what's inside. I usually grab whatever in the center chest, but I might as well just go ahead and go to the one on the right to show you, hey, there's more than one chest here. Now, Stage 4 of World 1 is completely optional. Then again, the Toad House was completely optional. 3 was completely optional too, but I want to show off all the levels if I can. I'm not going to show off absolutely everything. I am not a master at Super Mario Bros. 3 by any means. I don't really consider myself to be good at it, but at the same time, I do want to beat it for the channel because I never did. And I knew that one was going to move to the left. The thing about blocks with mushrooms in them is, if you hit it from the right side, it will travel left. If you hit it from the left side, it will travel right. It's kind of hard to tell which direction it's going to go sometimes. Sometimes I guess right, sometimes I guess wrong. Also, I'm not going to be able to get all 10 coins in that box, but that's alright. So you can kind of get the gist of what's going on here. The wooden platforms will fall under your weight, and you need to time your platforming a little bit carefully so you don't fall in the pit below. There's a boomerang brother. We're not going to take him on. We're just going to go straight to the course, and we're just going to get the 1-up. I'm going to try not to die too much in these stages. If I do, something is very, very wrong. So anyway, we now have this little spot with a spade on it. And if we go to it, we get this minigame where we have to line up the pictures and get a prize. But we only get one shot at it. And if we fail, we cannot try again. Now I know that the first two, the less accurate you are at the one that you want, the more than likely you're going to get what you want. Or rather, the less accurate you are, the more likely to get what you want. Let's see here. This one's going to slide out of the way here. Yeah, I knew I was going to get the flower, but I had to try. And the mushroom gives you a 2-up, the flower gives you a 3-up, and the star gives you a 5-up. But you have to complete them in order to get them. And there is a fortress that we can go to. Let's go ahead and go in here and see what's going on. Well, we got some Potaboos. These guys have returned from Super Mario Bros. 1. And as much as I'd like to show off the Fire Flower, I'm not going to do it. We'll get it eventually soon enough, and I will eventually show it off. In the meantime, I'm going to keep Raccoon Mario. Avoid the Awful Waffle. I know that's not the real name of the enemy there, but everybody calls it the Disco Waffle, or something like that. And we're going to jump on the dry bone in order to get it to fall apart, and we're going to use this area as a little runway to get up here. Now run all the way to the end. When you can't go any further, press up. You'll enter a doorway, and you get the second of 3 warp whistles. Now, if we continued on, we would have had to deal with a simple spike trap in which we would have had to duck down in order to avoid it. And then we would have had to fight the mini-boss known as Boom Boom. I'll show him off in World 2, because I wanted to show off that warp whistle first. Everybody should know where the warp whistles are. But in case you don't, well, I'm going to show them all off anyway. Now it's time for Stage 5. And I might as well just hold down at the very start to take out all 4 of these Buzzy Beetles. Unlike the Koopa Troopas, they do not fall victim to the fireballs, just like in Super Mario Bros. 1. And if we jump in here, the discolored brown looking tiles that were there, where the note block is, that was your cue to say, hey, jump up to here, you'll get the note block. You'll go to Coin Heaven. Now, you want to start flying after the second set of coins. Because if you can do that, then you can get the 1-up. And I seem to have gotten quite a few coins on the way to getting that 1-up, and I'm now up to 11 lives. I don't know why I wanted to correct myself and say down. But there is a Koopa shell for no reason. We don't need to go to the left for anything. We can just slide right into a piranha plant that will spit fireballs at us. Great job. You still have the traditional piranha plants that will come in and out of the pipes and bite at you. There isn't really much of a difference between the red ones and the green ones, unlike, say, Lost Levels, as far as I can tell. And level 6, we got some more platforming. Thankfully, it's not the auto-scrolling that Stage 4 had. I should have mentioned the auto-scrolling. But you could tell there was auto-scrolling. I'm assuming that you kind of know some basic NES things if you're watching this video. But there was a 1-up up there in one of the blocks, and thankfully I was able to go get it. And there were some coins in these blocks. I never hit them, so I keep forgetting they're there. And I do want to float over here. Thankfully, I have Raccoon Mario, so I can kind of just float gently over to there. And let's see here. Oh, right, because I never got the gold card at 3. Not to say, that's why I only have 1. And I don't necessarily need to do that, but I can do that. And it looks like I'm going to get another 1-up again at the next goal. But that will have to wait until World 2. And you may have seen this guy, who is in our way, run around between levels. That's a Hammer Brother. You walk into him, you're going to get a Hammer Brother fight. Easiest way to take him out, hit him from below from one of the blocks. Ah, there's a Fire Flower in there. Sometimes you'll get fire flowers from these blocks, sometimes you won't. And I got a star for that. And for getting 8,000 points, this card with a spade with the N on it will show up. You get this card to show up on the world map every 80,000 points. Flip over any 2 cards and see if they match. Miss twice and you're out. That's not the proper case if you're there, Toad. Now, there are 8 different game boards. And you can tell which one you're going to get sometimes by hitting the upper left card and probably some other one. This one gave us a flower, so that narrows it down to 4. Let's see what this one gives us, because I know this one's going to be different every time. It gave us a 10. So I know exactly what's going on here. You match up with you. So that's a flower. You were the 1-ups, so another 1-up for me. 2 stars here. 20 coins off those 2 cards. This one will give you the mushroom. I might as well use that in case I die at any point in the game. Let's see here. There's a 10, and there is the other 10 right here underneath the mushroom. Mushroom and mushroom. Flower and flower. And we only have 1 match to go, and that gives us another star. So by pressing B, we can go in and out of the inventory. Press A to choose the thing that you want. Left or right to switch between the thing that you want and the things you don't want. And up and down lets you go between the pages of the things that you want. I believe you can only have 4 pages worth of items, so that will take you a while. I'm just going to press B and just move on to the Toad House. And I might as well just go ahead and open another box, and that gives me a Fire Flower. Okay. Also, I am orange, so therefore I have the Fire Flower. I forgot I got that from the Hammer Brothers fight, and I just now realized I was just there. But it's time to go to the castle. Oh, it's terrible! The king has been transformed! Please find the magic wand so we can change him back! The castle in every world is the main goal of every world map, and is the final area of every world. Go ahead and press A to get out of here. And after you go to the castle, you'll find the Koopa's airship, and you'll climb aboard this forbidden vessel. Now, every airship is a auto-scrolling affair. You're going to have to watch out for cannonballs from the cannons and little bullet bills that come out of the bullet bill shooters. Now, thankfully, you can defeat the cannonballs and the bullet bills just by jumping on them. Just make sure you're accurate when you're doing this. Sometimes discretion really is the better part of valor. I would jump on that, but I'm not going to. And this is the one that you want to go to. Now, one of these actually has the hidden power-up at the end, but I know this one doesn't have it. Now here we're facing Larry. 3 jumps are enough to take him down, but if you can hit him with enough fireballs, you'll also be able to take him down that way. Thankfully, Larry is pretty easy. He just moves back and forth, and he just shoots at you with the wand. And while you don't necessarily have to do it, you can be the cool guy and go try to grab the wand in midair just for extra cool points. It doesn't give you any actual extra points or anything. But when you beat the Koopa Kid that has the wand, you'll be able to return to the castle, and the king will be back to his old self. He also gives you a letter from the princess, which you will read. Greetings. If you see any ghosts, be careful. They will give chase if you turn away. I have enclosed a jewel that helps protect you. Princess Toadstool. And the P-Wing is our first reward for clearing a world. The P-Wing allows us to be able to fly whenever we want throughout the stage we are in until we either clear the level, in which case we turn back into a regular Raccoon Mario, or we get hit or die. If we get hit, we lose our eternal P-Wing power and we just go back to being Small Mario. I believe you go back to being Super Mario if you're playing an All-Stars version. There's only a few P-Wings in the game. You definitely want to use them when you really, really need to. And we are now in World 2. World 1 was Grassland, and that gave us Larry Koopa, the first of the 7 Koopa Kids. The Koopa Kids debut in this game, and you have to beat them before you can beat Bowser, who has kidnapped the princess again, kind of like in Super Mario Bros. 1. And World 2 is the Koopahari Desert. We got rocks, we got pyramids, we got another fortress, we got rocks that block the path. This one's going to be a little more interesting, but we're going to tackle that in the next video. These videos will at least be 20 minutes long. For those of you who are watching somebody play Super Mario Bros. 3 in any form for the umpteenth time, so you kind of know what to expect. So don't expect me to clear an entire world in one video like I did here. I just decided to go for length for today's video because I knew it was going to be pretty easy. But in World 2, we are going to tackle some of the areas here, if not beat the whole world. And I'll try to show off whatever it is that I can. I'm not going to show off everything. I'm not a Super Mario Bros. 3 expert by any means. I am going to try to beat every level. I am going to try to beat Bowser. I am going to try to beat this for the first time. I've never beaten this game. Never could as a kid. I'm an adult now. I should probably be able to do it. But anyway, join me next time where we go through World 2 and try to do things. I'm not really sure how to describe what we're going to do in World 2. We're just going to go run to the right and just cause as much havoc as we can en route to the princess. So until then, this is PrinceWatercress. Take care, stay safe, and thanks for watching!